The sun beat down on Delhi. Cars honked and people rushed by, but Haveli number 13 stood still, silent. It was a giant in the middle of the city, an old mansion with chipped paint and broken windows. Vines covered its walls like long, grasping fingers. Locals hurried past. They never looked at the Haveli. They knew its dark secret. They whispered tales of the ghost inside. The iron gate creaked. It hadn't opened in years. Dust swirled as if disturbed by an unseen hand. The air inside was heavy. It smelled of decay and forgotten things. The Haveli stood alone, a monument to fear. They called her Raat Rani, the Queen of the Night, a beautiful courtesan who lived in the Haveli centuries ago. Her laughter once filled the mansion's halls, but tragedy struck. Betrayed by a lover, she was murdered within these very walls. Her spirit, unable to find peace, remained trapped. Locals spoke of her vengeful spirit. They said she roamed the Haveli at night. Her anklets jingled in the darkness, a constant reminder of her pain and anger. People said she was looking for something she lost, something that was taken from her. Meera was a young journalist. She loved a good story. She had heard whispers about Haveli number 13. The ghost stories intrigued her. She wanted to uncover the truth. One afternoon she decided to visit the Haveli. She stood before the imposing structure. A shiver ran down her spine. The air felt different here, colder. Ignoring the voice in her head, she pushed open the rusty gate. The hinges groaned in protest. Meera took a deep breath and entered the Haveli. The air inside was thick with dust. Cobwebs hung from every corner. Light struggled to penetrate the grime-covered windows. Shadows danced in the dimness. Meera's footsteps echoed in the silence. Each step sent a chill down her spine. She ran her hand along the cold, damp walls. The air grew colder. She thought she heard a whisper, a faint, mournful cry that sent shivers down her spine. Her heart pounded in her chest. She pressed on, drawn deeper into the Haveli's embrace. Meera reached a room at the end of the hallway. It was darker than the rest, but something shimmered in the shadows. She stepped closer and gasped. A woman stood in the corner. She wore a crimson sari. Her back was to Meera. Long black hair cascaded down her back. Meera's blood ran cold. She could hear the faint jingle of anklets. The woman turned. Her face was shrouded in shadow, but Meera could see her eyes. They glowed with an eerie light. Section 6, face to face with fear. The woman in the crimson sari glided towards Meera. Her feet didn't touch the ground. She moved like smoke, silent and swift. Meera stumbled back. Her heart pounded in her ears. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. The woman stopped in front of her. Her eyes seemed to burn into Meera's soul. Meera could feel an icy cold radiating from her. It was a cold that chilled her to the bone. Terror threatened to consume her. She had to escape. Section 7, trapped in terror. Meera turned and ran. She ran through the dark corridors. The woman's laughter echoed behind her. It was a cold, humorless sound, the sound of pure malice. Meera's breath came in ragged gasps. Her legs burned, but she didn't dare slow down. She had to get out. She fumbled for her backpack. Her fingers closed around a small pouch, Rudraksha beads, her grandmother's gift for protection. She clutched them in her hand. A surge of hope coursed through her. Section 8. Escape from Haveli number 13. Meera stumbled into the main hall. The front door was within sight, but the woman in crimson stood between her and freedom. Her eyes blazed with an unearthly light. Meera held up the Rudraksha beads. They pulsed with a warm light. The woman recoiled. A shriek escaped her lips. It was a sound filled with rage and pain. She vanished into thin air. Meera didn't hesitate. She ran. She didn't stop until she was far away from Haveli number 13. Section 9. Scars of the Past. Meera never forgot her encounter with Raat Rani. She researched the Haveli's history. She learned about the courtesan's tragic fate, her betrayal and murder. She realized the spirit wasn't looking for revenge. She was looking for peace. Meera left the Rudraksha beads at the Haveli gate, a small offering, a hope that Raat Rani would find peace. She never returned to Haveli number 13, but sometimes in her dreams she could still hear the faint jingle of anklets and see the piercing eyes of the woman in the crimson sari.